Hello everyone and welcome to another AFL Supercoach video where today I'll be discussing each relevant players from Fremantle and St Kilda, the teams that have the best bye, round 13, no early season round, and only team that has the round 13 bye. So we should be looking to pick players from these sides. But before we get into that, you can give me a follow on X at Supercoach Loch. And we've got a Supercoach Loch Open League, which the numbers there on the screen 586385. I want 100 in there at least by the end of the weekend. So that would be great if you could join just for a bit of fun. And also we've got the Podmasters versus Public codes 201479, where you can take on not only me but other content creators as well. So, and I think the winner gets a Supercoach ring as well. So enter that. Now, first we go to Fremantle, so we'll start off with the defenders. Alright, so you can see up here, their buys. Round 0, not playing round 0, so it's not really a buy, or is it? Not sure, whatever. Anyway, in the mid-season buy, round 13. Alright, so, like I said earlier, just the two teams on that buy, so easiest one to navigate. So one of a couple of players, or at least a few, I reckon, from these teams. All right, so starting off with the defenders, we've got Luke Ryan. He was great for me last year. Got him in, and got some really high ceiling scores. He's priced at 628.3k. Pretty expensive, but he does have that high ceiling, but he also has like a little bit of a lower floor. All right, so and they're not playing like towards the end of last year. They weren't playing that chip game where they just keep kicking it to Luke Ryan. But in saying that, he still does take kick-ins, so he should score quite a bit from that. And I look at him as an upgrade target. So whether we get him in after his bye, maybe, or maybe even leading up to it, just after he has one of those lower floor type scores and then drops in price. So, keep an eye out for that. That's my thoughts on Luke Ryan. Jordan Clark. I was just about to say Jai Clark. No, thank you. He's priced at 563.7k, so he's a cheaper option than Luke Ryan. I've actually got him in one of my draft keeper leagues, and he was great for me. So I've been watching him really close. He had a very strong second half of the year. He's not in my team at the moment, but he is one that is definitely on my watch list. I think, as a result of Freo wanting to, instead of that chip style in the back line, they want to running it out of defence, and do think Jordan Clark has been a beneficiary of that. So, he's very high on my watch list. Now, moving on to the midfield, we've got Caleb Sarong, 623.4k. I reckon he'll be a top 8 midfielder. He started off on fire last year. Then the second half of the year, I brought him in, and he was a tag target. So he got held to a few lower scores, but still expecting to be a top 8 midfielder. Andrew Brayshaw, slightly cheaper at 591.8k. I think at the start of the year he had something like a leg injury or something that was impacting him. He was still playing, but I think he got over that in the second half of the year, and he finished off really strong, and he is one I'm highly considering as well. So at the very least, I'm going to start one of these guys, Sarong or Brayshaw, maybe even both. Or could we start this guy, Hayden Young? 546.1k, he's mid-only this year, no longer defence eligible. Could he, break out again, playing in the midfield? He does sort of like have that high ceiling. He's one that I would definitely consider as well. Although, he is still quite young in his midfield career. Sorry. Nathan Fyfe. He's 372.8k. Mid-only, I believe. It's a pass. Only put him in here because salute you, great man. Thank you for all your Supercoach contributions for the last decade or so. But it's time to let you go. All right. Thank you very much, Nathan. Nathan O'Driscoll, he didn't play at all last year. I think he was injured. He's 198K. Is he in their best 22? Yeah, not sure, but if he does get games, well, he's a cheaper option. But there are other rookies available, like your Jagger Smiths, etc., available at that price. So yeah, it's probably a pass on him. Will Brodie, 191.8k. This guy was scoring he averaged over 100 a couple of years ago when he was eligible as a forward. What happened? I'm not sure. Did better players just come in? I'm not sure. Not picking him. I don't think he even gets a game, but yeah, just very curious. So if anyone can let me know, yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments. And we got Murphy Reed as well. I think he was their first draft pick, 131.5k. Let's just keep him on the watch list. Let's see how he goes. See if he gets named round one. All right. Onto the rucks. Now, Sean Darcy, Shrek, 529.4k. I reckon he's absolutely value if he's fit. That's a big if he's fit. At the moment, I think he's in Qatar. Yeah, I don't think he's injured, but yeah, it's just like precautionary or something like that. Yeah, so there's no actual timeline on when he's going to be coming back, which is a shame because I actually wanted him in my, R2. So yeah, he might not be anymore. Yeah, as we know, he has that injury history but he also has that really high ceiling. Watching Fremantle games as a non-owner last year, or whenever I haven't owned him, yeah, it's just scary because he can go absolutely huge. But yeah, he's one to keep an eye on. Yeah, let's see if he comes back before round one. We've got Reedy here, 132.6k. He actually played a couple of games as a number one ruck over Luke Jackson, who we'll talk about shortly. Yeah, he played 2 games as a number one ruck and averaged 41, which, yeah, not great. So, yeah, we'll probably look elsewhere, I would think. We do have a rookie ruck coming up in this video. And I think you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a Riddle. No, I'm not. Just put him in here because, well, I actually had this guy as a placeholder while I waited for Boyd to come into the Supercoach app. So, yeah, just loop maybe. Yeah, don't think. All right. Next, we've got the forwards. So as we just spoke about, Luke Jackson is also available as a ruck. Now, I don't think rucks are, well, if you're playing, especially if you're playing the way I'm playing this year, I'm looking to have 3 rucks in my, put another ruck in my flex position. So I don't think the forward ruck eligibility is as important. But hey, if you wanted to make your team even more flexible, why not? But yeah, Luke Jackson, he's 509.3k. I would only pick him if Shrek has an LTI. If we get confirmation, he's out for extended period of time, like half season or so. All right, so yeah, but I think he plays mostly forward. And then we got to keep an eye on if Reedy plays. Tracy, 454k. He's a pass, but I thought I'd put him in here, out of respect, for a 84.3 average last year, which is pretty good for a key forward. But yeah, not going there. Shai Bolton's an interesting one. 416.1k midfield eligible as well. It could be a pot option. How much midfield time does he get? I'm not sure. Does he play more forward? We'll have to wait and see. Keep an eye out on the practice matches, but 416k is pretty cheap. But he's riding a bit of a roller coaster. 1 week he'll score a 150, and next week he'll score a 50. So yeah, maybe not for me, but one worth considering. And we've got Quinton Narkle, who's come across from Port Adelaide. 144.9k. Yes, definitely very high sub risk if he even gets picked. I think he's more of a depth player, but and I don't think it was very rare. I think every single time he played for Port Adelaide, he started as a sub nearly. All right, so yeah, it's a no from me. Neil Erasmus is also available as a midfielder. 119.9k. He's a former high draft pick. Could he finally break out this year? Could he, escape that sub vest? If he can, that would be great. And he's actually in my side at the moment, just on the bench. So hoping he can get a game. And Cooper Simpson, 119.9k. He did play a few games last year. I think a few of them were as the sub. So, yeah, he's a high sub risk. But, he's cheap and he's probably around that fringe. So, yeah, he's one to keep an eye out on. Now, we move on to the Saints. So, the reason why I want to get this video out first before the round 12 buys and not just do it in chronological order like a normal person probably would. We've had a bit of injury news come out of St Kilda. They've got quite a few, which could have a big impact on some Supercoach players. We've got Marshall, who's out for 5 to 8 weeks with a broken pelvis or fractured pelvis or something like that. We've got Mateus Philippou, popular forward pick, who's going to be out with a fractured leg, I think it is, for 10 to 14 weeks or something like that. He's going to miss the start of the season. You can flush the poo pick down the toilet. And yeah, we've got a couple of replacements that we could see from St Kilda or have a few impacts that affect a few players. So let's just get into it. We've got Jack Sinclair. He's a midfield eligible defender as well. 592.k. Does he get more midfield time now that Philippou, who was supposed to be playing a bit more midfield this year? Does Sinclair get more midfield time? I probably prefer him, get more defense role, running out of defense and, taking kick-ins, etc. But I still would expect him to be a top 6 defender. We're going to have to watch the St Kilda practice games very closely to see, what role these players have. And if Jack Sinclair does go in the midfield, does this mean Nasiah Wanganeen Millera? That's NWM, in case you didn't know. He's 543.7k. He's a cheaper option than Jack Sinclair. So, if Sinclair's playing more midfield, could, he be a beneficiary of that? Could they look for Wanganeen Millera for more run out of defense? All right. I've actually got him in my keeper league as well. So I hope he has a good year. So, yeah, he's one to consider. We got Ari Schoenmaker at 270.5k. Now, I actually just recently added him on here because Dougal Howard is out with I think he's had a dislocated shoulder. It's absolute carnage down at St Kilda. Could he benefit from the Howard injury? Also, the loss of Josh Battle from West Coast, to go to Hawthorn. That's right, Hawthorn. Yeah, could he benefit from that? Could he get a game? 270k, a bit of a awkward price. You got your Kitty Coleman, you pay a little bit more, you get Callum Mills. Probably not for me, but it could be one you could consider. We've got Toby Travalia, midfielder eligible also, 172.k. He's on my watch list. He's on my team at the moment as a placeholder for a rookie spot. He's a bit of an elevated price, but one thing we know about Ross Lyon, that he'll back the kids to play. If they start playing, he'll give them a stretch of games. So it could make us a bit of cash. Should be playing on the wing, I believe. All right. Let's get on to the midfielders. Now, I've only got one in here. All right. One that I'm interested in. You've got Jack Steele, 585.2k. Will McRae in the midfield help? I know they've lost. Well, Brad Crouch was injured last year. Seb Ross is retired. So it looks like it'll be Steele, McRae. Maybe, I think Windhager's injured as well. So who else is going to be in that midfield? He's one that I'm just keeping an eye on. We know he can score big. I think he was again impacted by a bit of an injury, playing through a bit of an injury for a period through last year. I actually did have him in my side last year. After he went nuts for a few games, got him in, and he didn't really do much for me after that. Well, he did a lot later in the year though, but he had a bit of a stretch where he did have some of those lower scores. I just couldn't trade him out. All right, so. Next, let's go on to the rucks. Now, we've got Rowan Marshall. He's 603.5k, injured pelvis. Will he play round 1? So, what are we, about 6 weeks from round 1, and the injury is listed as 5 to 8 weeks. So, he might miss. Even if he does play, I think he's been training more as a forward, because I think St Kilda really want him to be play as a forward because he can both play. He's just as effective as a forward as he is a ruckman. All right, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And if he does play forward, well, hopefully he can play forward and get the forward eligibility in Supercoach. I'm hoping so too because I've got him in my draft keeper league as well. Next, Max Heath, Dodson. I don't think they play because they've brought in this guy. Oh, sorry, Max Heath is actually forward eligible as well. 119.9k. Dodson, who's just the guy that they've picked up last year in the draft, 113.5k. But I don't think they play because they've got this guy, Harry Boyd, 99.1k. He was the Sample Best and Fairest, Magarian medalist. It looks like he'll be playing round 1, I would say. Like, surely, if Marshall's not there. He's a lock if I'm going to name round 1. I'll probably have him as my R3. Probably not going to... Ooh, I could put him R2. Oh, that would be ballsy, but I got burnt by the sweet donut last year, so yeah, probably not going to do that. He'll, make, from basement price, he should make us a heap of cash. All right, so pick Harry Boyd. All right, and finally, onto the forwards. We've got Mason Wood here, 431.7k. He probably plays more on the wing. His scoring can be a bit up and down, but he does have those good scores in him, so I decided to put him on here, but it's a pass for me. Jack McRae. Now, he's actually, he's sub 400k. 392.2k. He doesn't have Bevo as the coach anymore, so he's going to be playing in the midfield. Just lock away and throw the keys. Or, lock him up and throw away the keys even. Philippupu, 313.8k. I think he's also mid-eligible. He's injured, so we can't start him. Do we look to bring him in? Well, probably not at that price. All right. Jack Carroll has come across from Carlton, 224.5k. I actually think he's midfield eligible as well. What am I doing here? Oops. Stuff it. Anyway. Does the Philippu injury help him get a game? Is this a spot in the side? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Again, watch the practice matches. What the hell have I done here? Anyway. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Alright, so... Anyway. So you could probably throw a blanket over, all these guys. What the hell have I done? I've got Jack Carroll twice. Okay. I'm so sorry. Hugo Garcia, 245.8k. Same thing. Does the Philippu injury help? Does he get games? 245k, 0.8k. Max Hall, also midfield eligible. Hey, I actually put the right letter on that one. 119.9k. We're going to have to watch these guys through the practice games. We don't get to look at them around 0. All right, so could he be a beneficiary of the Philippu injury? We're going to have to wait and see. All right, so thank you very much for watching. That's it for today. Next, I'll be doing the tough buy, the round 12 buy. All right, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you. Bye.